Bebe Frayle.
Thank you.
Kia ora, welcome.
We're kind of double dipping today.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Thanks for having us back. You've seen us both previously. We thought we'd come and talk to you again. I'll take our submission as read and I just want to emphasise a couple of key ideas that we're making. So Greg and I would probably describe ourselves as being on opposite ends of the political spectrum, but
We've crossed the table.
what brings us together is our concerns about the tree canopy. So Greg lives in Richmond, I live in Dallington, and what we have seen over time is like the march of progress through our suburbs, Richmond particularly, with Dallington looking on concerned at the developments that are happening in our suburbs where a old home is either taken away or demolished, all of the trees are removed from the property, and then townhouses are established. We're not arguing that urban development shouldn't happen, we're arguing about how it should happen. So we are here to talk about trees. We need trees. I don't need to tell you this. We know that we need trees. We need them in our urban environments. They filter pollutants. They provide cooling shade, which is very important. They help to prevent urban heat islands, which is important for climate change. And they also provide social and well-being benefits to those who enjoy them. Green spaces make us feel happy. We know this. We all know this. I see nods. And yet our tree canopy has been declining for years in Christchurch. You already know this. And we also already know that it isn't declining evenly across our suburbs. So in the suburbs that we live in the less affluent suburbs in Christchurch, we have now less than 10% tree cover in some areas. We should be aiming for 30 to 40% tree cover, not less than 10. So that brings us to the ask, as they say in sales lingo. What are we asking for? What we ask is that in this annual plan, in every future annual plan, and in every long-term plan, this council demonstrates a commitment to increase our tree canopy. We would like to see council's proposed activities in relation to trees specifically documented and budgeted so that it's clear to residents that council is taking immediate and sustained action to reverse years of lack of attention to this issue. It's not enough to, in principle, say that you want to do something. If you don't provide the money for it, there's no point in saying it at all. It's a great feel-good to say that we're in a climate change emergency, and it's important to have done that. But we have to back that up with action, and action needs budgets. And we want to see this specifically called out in our budgets. Greg, would you add anything?
We know that we can't ask for a blanket protection of trees across the city, but it is important that they are focused on and that there is revenue there to actually ensure that they are looked after and that we don't have council staff coming to the public and saying we can't look after the trees because there's not enough budget to do that, which is why we haven't been able to save the tree in your street for whatever reason. And obviously that's only controllable, I guess, to a degree by the council for the trees that are on council land, although those that are listed as protected do have that covenant over them that they are supported by council funds to actually look after them. But if there's no money there, it's not budgeted for the trees, then the trees are destined to die along with the environment. And we're on a locomotive careering towards a cliff, and we're all going to fall off the cliff if nobody puts the brakes on and does anything about it. So it's imperative that somebody does, and you're the guys that have got the power, and above you is obviously central government. And if you as a council can't join hands with, like Bebe and I have joined hands with other communities, be that other cities, other your own professional contacts, to actually push government to be bold about the climate emergency, not just to stand on a soapbox banging a drum saying, we're waving the banner about reducing emissions. It's not just about emissions, it's actually about keeping the lungs of the planet on the planet to soak up the greenhouse gases, because if you chop somebody's lungs out, they die. They'll drop dead on the table in front of you. The same with the planet. We need the trees.
Questions?
questions.
Maybe I ask you
Sorry.
the same question that I asked Greg earlier on. Would it be helpful if we actually asked people who wanted to have certain trees protected on their own private property to let us know, and we
Yes.
could then develop a program of inspecting those trees?
Yes.
I believe that the government would be willing to look at a fast track process for addressing those, and as I described it to Greg this morning, it's the low hanging fruit
Yes.
of private trees.
Yes. That would be a great first step.
Right, because I mean, I think that's something we should investigate. Sarah.
Thanks so much. Listen, we get inquiries from residents who have some nuisance factors with street trees. So, leaves and gutters and those kind of things. And we have a tree policy around that. What do you think the benefits are of keeping street trees for communities, even when there's some individual nuisance? Because it's something that we have to weigh up all the time as a council.
Yeah, and we've just done it on our board where we've had a long discussion about a eucalyptus tree in one of our suburbs that is creating a nuisance. I mean, my view, I guess I'm a bit of a absolutist. I think every tree needs to stay, and I think if people are annoyed about trees, they've got the wrong idea about them.
Yeah.
And the mess that they make. But I do understand that trees create damage to drainage and to footpaths also, and we need to address that.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, we need to plant the right trees in the right place. Don't plant
Yeah, so
stupid
we have
trees in
some
stupid places.
existing
But
now
the
that
existing ones, trim them where possible, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't
if
want to
we-
see any tree cut down because it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, because if it's one tree for one bit of nuisance for someone, then it's all trees, because every tree causes some nuisance.
That's correct.
It's
Yeah.
also, I think, about educating the public about the benefits of actually keeping those trees rather than just going, yep, it's annoying you, so we'll just get out the
Actually
the chainsaw and whack it down.
Some more communications from council about the benefits that they give us for a city.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be
Doing
good.
doing a public campaign to educate the public. I mean, a lot of us, and I was guilty of being ignorant to what happens in council until what happened in my street happened.
Yeah.
And I've now become obviously very involved and very it's on my radar all the time, and I wish it wasn't. It'd be a lot easier for life. But yeah, if you could get the message out to the public through public campaigns. Yes, trees are annoying at times, but so is your husband, so is your wife, so are your kids. You don't kill them as much
That's
as you
right.
might want to, so
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
kill the trees.
It's great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Groom them instead.
Not your kids.
I don't have children, so I can't speak to that, but yeah, I can imagine what it must be like.
Look, thank you both very much.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for your
It's
time.
great to see.
Thanks for letting
two
us double
people
dip.
hands and,
You'll see us back again, don't you worry.
Lots and lots.
Oh, it's good to see. Good to see.
Thank you.
Have we got the